Premium quality football shirts at an extremely affordable price. Sound good? If so, check out the sponsor of today's video, jerseyfifa.com. You can see that I've sent you some shirts and they really are top quality, so make sure to click the link in the description to go find a shirt for yourself or perhaps as a gift for someone else. And you can now use code jerseyfifa at checkout for 10% off your order. That's code jerseyfifa at checkout for 10% off your order. I really do recommend their product, so go take a look. Now let's get into the analysis. So we finished last season with Real Madrid winning La Liga and the Champions League, but here on the channel we haven't really spoken about them since. So today we're going to change that and look at two players that they could potentially sign this summer. Now before we do figure out exactly who they need to sign, the players obviously have to fit into Ancelotti's philosophy and his idea of how he wants to set the team up. Now last season he used a 4-3-3, but there are talks that will change. Now what I've heard during the summer is that Real Madrid may be changing the shape into more of a 4-4-2. Now if that happens, I don't necessarily think it would set up the way that a typical 4-4-2 would. The reason for this is because personally I think we could see Valverde playing on the right hand side once again, so that perhaps addresses Madrid's issue of needing a new right winger, and instead they now need another striker, so today I'll look at two options. Now as you would have seen in the thumbnail, the first player that I want to talk about is Cristiano Ronaldo, because I think a lot of us sort of feel from a sentimental point of view that this would be a good way for Ronaldo to see out the rest of his career. Now before we talk about how he would fit in tactically, there is one big issue that Real Madrid would need to address, and that is the financial side of things, because there is no hiding the fact that Ronaldo is on a big wage and would probably demand the same. Now whilst that is an issue, personally if I was Real Madrid, I would be extremely tempted to cough up the money, simply for the prospect of seeing Ronaldo and Benzema playing alongside each other again, because they were incredible before. Now thanks to the hard-working nature of Benzema, this duo certainly could work once again. We know that Ronaldo isn't exactly a player that presses high or tracks back a lot, however Benzema has always been a player that puts the team first. On top of this, Ancelotti isn't really a manager that asks his side to press too high, which would obviously suit Ronaldo. We could see Benzema tracking back to defend and help out, whilst Ronaldo stays up front as the focal point. What this would do is give Real Madrid the chance to counter-attack at pace. This was obviously something that they done incredibly well last season, and if you add Ronaldo to the attacking dynamic of Benzema and Vinicius Jr, then it could be deadly. Again, Ronaldo fits in stylistically. We know that even when he starts up front, he often likes to drift to the left slightly, and if he was to do this again, then it would give the likes of Vinicius Jr and Benzema the freedom to change position. This could benefit Vinicius in particular, because last season we would often see Benzema drifting to the left, allowing Vinicius to move inside. So if Ronaldo was to come in and do something similar, then it could be a natural tactical fit. Whilst the Ronaldo and Vinicius link up would be exciting, I'm sure a lot of people would be more excited to see this incredible duo once again, because again from a tactical point of view, they really do suit each other pretty much perfectly. On top of this, they're also just going to score a lot of goals. Ronaldo's numbers speak for themselves, we've all seen the stats, but it's also important to point out that Benzema is an incredible finisher, as he showed last season. As well as bringing goals, this attacking dynamic would also bring trophies. You can't really guarantee success, but last year Madrid was so clear of everyone else in the league, and if you add the best goal scorer of all time, then it really could work. The other good thing about having Ronaldo and Benzema at the front is that Real Madrid have built an incredible young squad, so they can get bags of energy and work rate around the front too, making up for some of the legwork that Ronaldo can't really do. Now Ronaldo of course doesn't really fit that model of signing young players, which does cast some doubt over the whole transfer, and again the wages would obviously be an issue as well, so I think there are some complications that would come up. However, if Madrid were to bring him into the club, then I can't help but feel that Madrid could get even more instant success. The question is that what they want? Do Madrid want short-term success or do they want to build for the future? If the case is the latter and Madrid want to build long-term success, then this move probably doesn't work, because this would be an ageing front too. However, I still think Madrid will be extremely interested and tempted to bring him in. However, the more I'm talking through this video, I'm just starting to think that the move is perhaps a little bit unlikely. But I'm interested to hear from you Madrid fans. Would you want Ronaldo back for a few years of almost guaranteed success? The other option for Madrid is to bring someone slightly younger into the club, and I think if I was in Real Madrid's situation, then personally I would be looking to bring Serge Gnabry into the team. So let's take a look at a few of the reasons why. So the first reason why this would be such a good transfer is because Gnabry is still just 27 years old, so he is either currently in his prime or about to enter his prime, so right now is the perfect time to sign him. Now, signing Gnabry in his prime isn't like signing just any other player. If you sign Gnabry, then you are genuinely signing one of the best wingers in the world, and his FBref report really does speak for itself and highlights how good he is. Now, of course, Gnabry's stats are boosted by the fact that he's been playing for the best team in Germany, but to be fair, the situation would probably be the same if he was playing for Madrid in Spain, and he could play a few different positions as well. Now, firstly, if we go back to using that 4-4-2 formation that we were talking about at the start, then Gnabry is more than capable of coming into the team and playing as part of the front two, leading the line alongside Benzema up front. Now, if Gnabry was to be used in this position, then he would have all the technical attributes needed to succeed, and I think his quick feet in particular would allow him to really excel in the box because he is great in tight spaces. As well as having these quick feet in the box, Gnabry also has incredible goal scoring ability, and I think this is something that people outside of Germany don't really realise, but over the past 2 years or so he has developed into a top finisher. The other benefit of bringing Gnabry into the club is that it would bring incredible versatility to the team. So if those rumours are wrong and Ancelotti actually chooses to stick with a 4-3-3, then Gnabry could play on the right hand side. If Gnabry was used in this sort of position, then one thing that it would bring to the team is impressive ball progression ability, because he is a player that is more than happy to drop deep to get the ball before then carrying the team through the thirds. If this was to happen, then one thing that Gnabry would bring to the side is a more natural balance. Valverde did do well on the right hand side in the Champions League, but playing Vinicius and Gnabry on the wings is just a more natural balance. Despite starting out wide, Gnabry would still bring goal scoring ability to the team, because even when he plays wider, he still naturally tends to drift inside, because instinctively he wants to get as close to the goal as possible. This would of course once again allow Gnabry to link up with Benzema, and I do think it could be quite a nice dynamic, with Benzema occasionally dropping slightly deeper, allowing Gnabry to then make the run and expose the space left in behind. Again, this could make for a deadly counter-attacking team. The idea of Benzema dropping deep with Vinicius going behind worked incredibly well last season, and if you had Gnabry doing the same on the other side, it really could be lethal. Again, as I keep saying, no matter where Gnabry plays, he will bring goals. This isn't really something that we saw during his earlier days as a player. However, since moving to Bayern, his goal scoring and whole game has gone to another level. It's for those reasons that I would now say that Gnabry is probably in his prime. I think right now he is the most complete player that he has ever been. He has developed from a really raw talent into one of the best wingers in all of world football. Now, some people will question that because Gnabry does still make mistakes, and at times his decision making and things like that can be a little bit off. But personally, I think that is an issue that you can overlook and maybe even coach out of him. Because if you are able to get Gnabry performing at his best, then it really could take this Madrid team to the next level. Now that seems like a weird thing to say about a team that just won the Champions League, but I genuinely think Gnabry improves the side. Again, if we go back to his FBref report, I think we can see just how good he is. There aren't very many forwards in Europe that rank in the 90th percentile or higher in so many different departments. Right now, Gnabry is one of the best. For all of those reasons, I obviously think that this would be an incredible signing. Gnabry has just 1 year left on his contract, so he could be reasonably affordable. But even if Madrid had to play a little bit extra, then it would still be more than worth it. If we go back to Ronaldo, then I'm not sure things are quite as straightforward. Ronaldo is obviously much older and would also demand a lot higher wages. However, I do still think it would be a good signing because of the goals that he would bring. However, I think if it was me and you're trying to build a long-term project at the club, then I think Serge Gnabry would be the player that I would be looking to bring in. However, as always, we now just have to wait and see what happens. In the meantime, I want to hear your thoughts. As a Real Madrid fan or as a neutral, who do you think Ancelotti should bring into the club? Make sure to get into the comments down below and let me know your thoughts and what you think. Thank you guys for watching, I hope you have enjoyed the video and I will see you in the next one.